I mean, real quick, if we can, to piggyback off of what Garth is saying in the chat, like, is that what it takes to get into the MCU nowadays? Is a good old like lick on like Kevin Feige's cheek? I mean, let's have this conversation before we actually start the show. Like, because I mean, I'm willing to do that. I love the MCU. I will lick the hell out of Kevin Feige's cheek, and I'm ready for that. Let's just start the show. What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. That means it is time for the tag line. We are the Cine Fanatics. My name is Robert Adams. You're still on mute. Here you go. Now you're unmuted. Go ahead and say your name again.
Chris Adams.
And we are here to talk about movies and movie news and all this movie-related world that we're a part in. I really like the fact that I'm able to like narrowly get the pointiness of my hair in between my two posters behind me. I think this works very well for the framing of my stream. Also, I desperately need to get a haircut to trim that down because I'm looking like either Alfalfa or Ed Grimley. Those of y'all who are old enough to know what an Ed Grimley is. He likes Pat Sajak.
You're so old.
I know. Isn't it great? Anyways, hello, welcome everybody that is here. Looking out into the chat, I do see a very, very beautiful blue sea of wrenches. We have myself, we have my brother. So cool. Thanks to
glad they're there
for being in the chat.
Glad you guys could show up today.
Yeah, welcome to the party, guys. Welcome to the party, pal. I also see some of our favorite moderators here. We've got Vernon and Garth both in the chat. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Thank y'all for being here. If you are watching us live and you have not said anything in the chat, say something. It's okay. We're not going to bite. I can't guarantee Garth, but I mean, the rest of us probably are not going to bite. But yeah, let us know you're here. So yeah, tonight's show is a wrenchathon. You're right. You're right, because there might be something special in a little while in regards to that. So,
you know, say potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially.
Everyone's losing their wrenches. Yay!
Including us. We're losing our wrenches on our own channel.
I mean, we got to be
Wild West.
Yeah. It's a who cares? F it. Let's go.
It's a Wild West out here, guys.
So those of y'all, since we happen to be talking to you, our viewers, currently, if y'all have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, as always, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. Apparently, /tip is also needed for that. Maybe
no, it's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not? Cool. Cool. So you don't need the tip. Just type in streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. Also, super chat. Super chat's okay as well. Also, there is patreon.com/cinefanatics. Let's talk about what's coming up on that. One would be this Thursday. This Thursday night, I believe we're going to shoot for our usual favorite time frame of 9 Central, being 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. We will be having our monthly Patreon watch-along, of course, in celebration of Space Jam 2. What is it? Is it Space Jam: A New Legacy? I believe is what it's properly called.
Space Jam: A New Jam.
Yeah, I mean, what would it be called? Like, if I'm writing this on a whiteboard for like a movie trivia competition, what would be the correct answer? Space Jam: A New Legacy, right?
It's Space Jam. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah, that's actually Space Jam, the okay movie with a fantastic soundtrack. Stuck for that one song you are no longer allowed to listen to anymore. So.
Space Jam, LeBron needed an ego stroke.
Yeah. Anyways, in celebration of that coming out this weekend, we will be watching Space Jam. Come on and slam and welcome to the watch along. So
rhyme.
It's not supposed to. Look, we're not the rhyme of fanatics here, okay? I can't
come on and
bars.
slam.
I can't spit bars like Eminem going up against Falcon in 8 Mile. I mean, that's not happening. So we're going to be doing the watch along of Space Jam. And as we said previously when talking about this movie has not aged very well. And I can't wait to have fun with that. So there's definitely a lot of flaws. It's definitely like a younger version of Us. Like kind of, I would say a favorite just because of how funny things are. Like, this is one of those movies that you really watch as a kid and now watching as an adult, you're like, really? You went with that decision.
Here's the thing. That's going to make the watch along a lot of fun. So that's why it is under the Patreon, because we like to put really, really fun watch alongs underneath the Patreon. And I like to do like fun watch alongs normally for the channel too, whenever we can. The Captain America one was a lot of fun. And, you know, if y'all missed it, then oh well. The really, really fun
live
ones,
on our channel, and you can watch it.
It's just not July 4th anymore, or July 5th. So you kind of lose the magic of it, you know, America. But Space Jam is going to be really, really fun. Just for the actually, that's wait, Space Jam sandwich, is that like, because it's like a basketball, so it's orange, so it's marmalade. Is Paddington in this movie?
There's also this one that I really liked. Come on and slam was also the code word in Eyes Wide Shut. So you could have like either used the word Fidelio or come on and slam, and that would get you.
You know what? Never
mind. that was the right move on the part of my brother, just to excuse himself from the silliness that we are like a little over 7 minutes into the stream, and we have already achieved peak level absurdity. So you can come back though, because I do need someone to talk to.
Fidelio.
I mean, that's the code word that gets you into that party. That party's not going to happen here. You can calm down.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Let's swap that. There we go. Much better. That didn't feel right. Anyways, so anyway, that's what's happening coming up on Patreon. There will be a movie or a movie trivia hangout probably later this month. I think we have an idea of when, but I don't think we've actually. I don't remember between the two of us saying final answer. So we'll hammer that out, and we will let y'all know on social media.
I think we put something on the calendar that I figured we were both okay with. So we probably
did we actually put something on the calendar?
I think we put it on the calendar.
Did we put it on the calendar? Let's open it up and see if we put it on the calendar.
We're doing it live.
We did not put it on the calendar.
Oh, okay. Then we will let you on social media.
Yeah. Which means either we didn't decide anything, or I was really tired and just couldn't be messed with to put something on the calendar. That happens. So the Space Jam watch along, that is Thursday night. That's if you're at the $5 due tier. So hop on that. It's gonna be a blast. Like literally.
Spare fingers.
Yeah. Tomorrow night. Key thing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is of utmost importance.
Mm-hmm.
It'll
be filled with glorious purpose.
It is filled with a glorious purpose. There's two things happening tomorrow night. One of them I don't want to mention unless I get the A-OK, which I forgot to get ahead of time before we went live. So if no,
with me,
not with you, the other one.
Oh, gotcha.
So if anyone wants to let us know if it's okay to potentially talk about that, that's cool. If not, we'll move on. As of right now, though, I will move on to what is okay. We have the A-OK. Yeah, okay. So tomorrow night, friend of the show, moderator, another person with a wrench over here, Vernon Greene, will be doing what is the show he hosts? Is it a fan's view of the FCL?
It's a blender's view of the FCL. It's a microwave's view of the. It's a water heater's view of the. Oh, it's a fan's view.
It's a washing machine's view of the.
We are No longer allowed on the show.
You're watching the water in the washing machine, and it's watching you participate in the FCL. Except for ours, because it's a top loader and it's crappy and
you thought we had hit peak level of absurdity before. Nah, we just got there now.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling.
So the fans view of the FCL, they are doing their first live stream show tomorrow night. We will be popping in over there, so go check that out. Proper response, I would say. Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, we'll be popping in over there to talk about FCL. If you're not familiar with FCL, it's the first class league. It's a developmental league of the movie Trivia Schmodown. If you're not familiar with the movie Trivia Schmodown, it's like wrestling. Yeah, it's like wrestling. Instead of people fighting in a ring, they're sitting at their desk answering movie trivia questions. Otherwise, you still have stories, heroes, villains. It's a lot of fun. Check out the movie Trivia Schmodown and FCL on twitch.tv/the Schmodown. Guys, we will be what?
Social media is a wonderful thing. I'm still getting retweets on a tweet I made like a week ago.
I know. I saw since we're bringing up that subject, I saw we got a comment like on one of our older YouTube videos, like older YouTube, like in our living room with the Joker poster behind us, old. And they were commenting something like Corey Feldman was the voice of Donatello in Ninja Turtles 1 and 3.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was like, I think it was actually a Schmodown reaction that they commented on. I was like,
I buy that.
Yeah, I feel like we've come across this before. Also, what I'm wondering, I don't know if I've called this out before, but at what point, when you're making comments on a YouTube channel and the channel is like a movie focused channel, at what point are you giving like movie facts and everyone's like, yeah, we know, we run a movie YouTube channel. There's a reason why we decided that we were knowledgeable enough to make a channel about this. Like, what point does that drop in?
We're way ahead of you.
Did you know that Tom Hanks was Forrest Gump in Forrest Gump? Wow.
Wait. That just blew my mind.
Blew your mind, huh? Fantastic. Anyways, the other thing we are doing tomorrow night is going to be the finale episode of Loki. We've got the episode 6 finale breakdown with Miss Kelsey Kirkland. That will be tomorrow night. This episode is I have not seen it, but I will go ahead out on a limb and tell you it's going to be epic
and insane.
Epic, insane. Like, if you've been following this show, if you've been following our breakdown, we are super hyped for this. Oh, hey, perfect timing. Look who's here. Everyone. Let's all, everyone in the chat, let's give a big happy birthday to Errolowl.
Happy birthday to you.
We can't sing that's copyright. Well, it's not copyrighted anymore, but whatever.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
So, Rachel, thank you for being here tonight. Garth.
Funny you should say that.
You should say that, because guess what's about to happen? And save. Happy birthday, Rachel. Congratulations. If you refresh, or however YouTube works, it just immediately gives it to you now. Cool. You have now achieved Blue Wrench mod status on the Cinefanatics channel. So, all
right, but that's it. No more wrenches for quite some time. We have to hit, at least 30 to 40 people consistently in the chat before we give it another wrench.
I just realized something else we're about to talk about. It's funny, the timing on this. The after the Loki breakdown. That's really great timing, guys. Anyways, I'll cover that, and y'all will see why I find that humorous right now here in a bit. No, you're not.
Apparently I'm not.
Anyways, so Loki breakdown is going to be tomorrow night. We're gonna have a blast with that, and Yeah. Congratulations, Rachel. You are very welcome. So, anyways, let's get into some personal stuff here. Chris, how's your week been? With your car that won't start but starts.
Yeah. So let me backtrack on that. Was that yesterday? That was Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go downstairs. I'm gonna go to the store, grab some stuff from the store, grocery store and all that. Want to get out of the apartment, get some sun, stretch my legs, do all that kind of fun stuff. Go downstairs, all ready to go. Keys in the ignition. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, one more time. Nothing.
Wait, why are you Italian when you start your car?
Don't you worry about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Went from Italian to like New York Scorsese mobster. Forget about it.
Well, here's the thing. So my car wasn't starting. So you know what? I'm walking here.
That's a good one.
Anyway.
Dustin Hoffman.
Exactly. So nothing. The engine wouldn't even start. Like nothing. No sound. Battery's good. Electronics in the car, perfectly fine. Engine, nothing. I was like, cool. Looks like I'm not going anywhere. So I came back up, did a little streaming on twitch.tv/Chris Adams LP. Please follow if you haven't yet already.
That was a proper plug.
Yes. So I was like, I'm going to stay here apparently, so I might as well do the Twitch thing. And I waited for this one to get home to help me jump the car because I figured, it's probably just a battery thing. Probably just needs to be jumped. I'm not even going to really stress out about it or worry about it too much. He gets home, right? I go bother him like, hey, we need to get my car jumped because I need to go to the store still. I need to do some stuff. I need to get out.
I'm like tired and super sore. I'm like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. So I go downstairs to, go get the car ready to be jumped or whatever. He slowly walks his way downstairs as well. Guys, we live on the third story. You don't do anything fast when you're living on the third story. So,
like, we literally sit here in this apartment like, do we really need to go to HEB, the grocery store that's local here? Do we really need, do I really need beer?
Do I really need food this week?
Yes, we need all of the above. Let's go.
So, go down there, waiting on him. And while I'm waiting on him, I go, just for funsies. I'm like, okay, car just started right up. Whatever. I probably could have left earlier.
I'm coming outside. I'm starting to walk down the stairs like, is his car running?
Guys, I don't know why, but like the whole thing with the car just was a non-thing. I probably could have walked back up, come back down later, and just I probably could have just left when I needed to. I don't know why it didn't start earlier, but
so
it's good now.
It might come as a surprise, but we are the Cine fanatics, not the auto fanatics.
How many times are you going to use that joke?
I have no clue. I have no clue as to what it was, what caused it, but I mean, worked great today, right?
We're the Cine fanatics. We're not the whatever fanatics.
We're not a fanatic of whatever either. I mean, I like movies.
We're not a fanatic of literally anything else. Anyway,
I like my brother. I'm a brother fanatic. I like my brother.
Liar. So the car did start back up. So the car is good. Car worked today.
Say you like me back. Just kidding.
No. Sorry, there's a little bug that flew onto my mic there. That was weird. That was a weird moment just now.
That got strange real quick.
Yeah. So the car, there's a little gnat buzzing around here. It's kind of annoying.
It works.
It works now. So that whole 20-minute section that just now was about my car not working and then working. So there you go, guys. Side note, something happened in the FCL today. For those of you who, again, watched the First Class League, someone dared to call out the gentlemen after their match. And I am taken aback because we done had this man up in our city.
I was gonna say he didn't come here.
No, he didn't.
up in our domicile. No,
we welcomed him to our fair town of Austin, Texas,
with open arms.
showed him a good time.
You showed him the turf of the domain.
It's a comfy turf. It's a comfy turf. We showed him a good time.
If rolling around in the turf is what you qualify as a good time. I mean, it used to be a good time. It used to be when I was in high school. Nowadays, not so much.
It depends on who you ask and what context you're asking them that
Nowadays,
question.
It's a rash.
Well, again, that depends on what part of town you're in. So here's the thing. After we done had him up in our city, this man wants to turn around and say like, hey, you know what? I got pushed. So I'm going to call out Chris, the gentleman. And I'm over here like, I thought we were brothers. I thought we were brothers.
No, we are brothers. We are brothers.
It's a metaphor. Right? Is that correct use of metaphor? I don't care.
But if he's your brother, then that means he has to be my brother. And I don't
It's metaphorical.
I don't think of him as my brother. I mean, he's a great guy. He's cool and all. I mean, had a good
start
time
thinking of people as your like brothers, because then you might care about them more. Either way,
like the Christian brother. You are my brother. I love you as a brother. Yeah, okay,
something like that. Either way, I apparently got called out. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm sure there will be after shows that will ask me about this tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
That would make sense for an after show to ask me about that tomorrow night, in which case I can go more into how I feel about that. But until then,
hey, real quick.
What the heck?
Y'all kept talking about chips on it. No, Garth, we didn't have chips on all our shoulders. We had a bag. Everyone else in the FCL who wasn't drafted had chips on their shoulders. You should photo edit a little Alex on Chris's shoulder for chips on his shoulder. That would be funny.
As funny as that is, I'm going to stay away from actually calling Alex chips.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. He's not a huge fan of it, but I mean, there's the silliness in there. When he came to Austin, like with us there, we had like a little fun talking about that. But
yeah. Anyway, so I'm not saying that match is guaranteed. Obviously, we got to wait for the whatchamacallit, the call from our dear commissioner
Brad. It's called Brad.
That's a weird way. It's called Brad. No, we have to wait for the call.
You said I don't know what it's called. I said it's called Brad.
I was referencing the call he has to make, not the man himself. You dingus.
Yeah.
So.
Just as long as you don't answer it on my phone, that's great.
Anyway, that's a thing that could happen. We just got to wait for Brad to sign the dotted line.
We got to stop with this joke. You do remember that? You do remember this still exists. You could use this too, because I mean, I miss Vision. Anyways.
Oh. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that, guys. If he wants to take me on, he is very well welcome to. He's gonna regret it, because like I said before, the next person who takes me on is gonna get crushed.
The full wrath of the gentleman.
The full wrath of the gentleman.
Yeah. So
that's about all I have for FCL stuff.
That's about all I got to say about that.
Wait, who said that? That's a quote from
that was Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump.
What?
I know. Wild, right?
That's a callback right there.
Anything else like personal wise that you want to talk about?
There's
your personal, my personal, and then we're going to talk about the Cinefanatics personal.
I would say real quick, I doing pretty good with the all the physical therapy stuff. We're
cool.
making headway and narrowing the field down on what could be happening. Had a really interesting session today. So
we're making headway on your head.
We're making headway on my head.
Yeah, I feel like I was channeling Garth with that one.
Garth's better at that than that.
Yeah, he is. We're not worthy. I did that knowing that he said that earlier. He used a gif of that for something in regards to us earlier. Anyways, personally for me, I'm okay. I'm here. I'm living.
He's good.
I think like anything like personal with me to kind of like take away is going to be what we're about to talk about here next with the state of the Cinefanatics.
We're quitting YouTube, guys. This is our last show.
This is our last show. I mean, other than the Loki tomorrow night and the other things we've already announced, this is it, guys. This is the farewell. Like, no fanfare. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, and there's also going to be like more Bad Batch breakdowns and stuff. But other than that, we're quitting YouTube.
We're quitting the show. We're quitting this channel altogether. Thanks for being on this ride. See you. No, we're not quitting YouTube. We are going to be taking a hiatus, though. So. Yeah, it's going to be a little short one. Very likely. So this is why I was laughing. Do we all get it now? Do we all get why I was laughing at this? Like, we're just going to give Rachel a rich, and then we're like, hey, we're not going to exist anymore. See ya. No, you're okay, Rachel. We are not. We're just resting for a little bit. That was funny though. I love that idea, that reaction there in my head that y'all all got to see and had to wait for the explanation, but whatever.
So the line of reasoning for this, I initiated this conversation between the two of us as to taking a little bit of a break. For me, there's just been a whole lot that's been weighing down stress-wise on my shoulders in the past like month. And I need to remove one of the things causing stress for a little bit of time as I try to reconfigure different parts of my life around and realign some stuff. So one of the easiest things for me is to not have to stress out and worry of doing something Cinefanatics wise almost every night of the week or every other night of the week or what have you.
Hey, thank God we're not doing Schmodown reactions. I mean, woo.
I would be dead. I'd be dead.
Much love. I will shout out to a certain point of view. Much love to those guys still plowing through that. That's amazing.
It's all you, Malcolm. It's all your fault. Who
Speaking
knew
of which,
one person in New Zealand could have so much power that far away?
I was like, speaking of which, I want to go visit New Zealand. Can we do that while we're not doing content on this channel?
Not anytime soon.
Oh my God.
Probably still can't visit New Zealand anytime soon, but still. Yeah. Exactly. I'm moving out. I'm going on my own. Be prepared. There's a whole separate channel coming. No. I needed to remove the stress, so I brought it up to him saying, hey, I need to take a break from doing Cinefanatic stuff for a little bit just to kind of realign, remove some stress, which leaves him in the position over there. There he is. Him in the position of either doing everything on this channel all on his own for a period of time, or also potentially taking a break too, so as to not, be burnt out from doing everything on the channel on his own.
Well, you over accentuated that for some weird reason.
Yes.
Guys, so I mean, twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
That may be on a hiatus too. We'll see. I'll let y'all know.
Or at the very least, that is going to be like something that you may just spontaneously pop up going, hey, I'm twitching tonight or today or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's happening. Slight break. I believe that's coming after a Space Jam review. I believe I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to do a Space Jam 2 review. Yeah. And then...
other than after that, you're wanting to do your bad batches every once in a while. We're going to do the Patreon stuff still. So like movie watch-alongs and the movie trivia hangout. We'll still do that.
So the movie watch along is still this week. So we're talking about like after this week. The trivia thing might happen during the break, but again, I need to study trivia. I'm probably going to need to study the trivia regardless, based on what I think may happen at this point. So that'll probably happen either way. That's just going to be a more relaxed hangout anyway.
The other one that I want to mention that we talked about is,
hold on. Let me bring up that Bad Batch real quick. The only reason that one I am continuing the Bad Batches during the break is just because like I don't want to end the Bad Batch breakdowns when there's only a few more episodes left, and I don't want to sit here and wait till the break is done to do like 8 episodes or whatever.
Just go call Disney real quick. Tell them you need to take a break, and they'll put it on hold for you and wait for you to come back after you've cleared your mind and de-stressed.
Exactly.
Because they're Disney and they care about people.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. Anyway, I want to keep the stream going with Adam Witt, so those will still be happening. Other than that, Tagline is taking a break for at least a couple weeks, and I believe anything else. I mean, obviously, once Loki's done, we're not doing a Disney Plus stream. We're not going to be covering
do the next episode of Loki after the.
We're not going to be doing a what if breakdown, so we're not worried about that. So there's not going to be any like shows to break down or anything coming up. No Taglines for at least 2 weeks. And then I think other than that, you might still do like a trailer reaction if something pops up.
So that's what I was going to say is depending on what's going to pop up, there is the possibility of a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer popping up any second now. Like we are literally down to the seconds that it could happen.
It would be my life if that pops up while I'm taking a break.
If that happens, we will have some form of a trailer reaction on this channel. Whether it involves both of us, I don't know. But I will get a trailer reaction out there, even if it's just me. I'm almost certain that he's going to want to jump in for a trailer reaction because there's going to be all kinds of awesome, amazing things during that. But
we'll see.
Other than like some super awesome trailer, probably not going to tackle trailer reactions.
Guys, so we're gonna take a break, but except for the part where we're not actually taking a break. So this whole announcement's kind of like ridiculous. The point is, actually, I'm going to take a break. So if Spider-Man drops a trailer, I'm probably not going to be in the reaction because I need to commit to outside of the Bad Batch, of course. Stupid Nat. I am going to actually. I at least will actually be taking a break, but. I need it. Okay, this thing.
I left that ambiguous in that it might be a matter of what's going on that day. If mentally we are in a position where you can jump in, cool. If not, it's all right. Mental health comes first, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. We're taking a break, but not actually.
Yes, but no. No. As far as I'm concerned, me at least, I'm taking a break for 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we were... so I know I want to work on some stuff for this channel outside of having to work on just a video. I'll be open and honest. There was a Fast and Furious ranking that I was working on, and it just frustrated the hell out of me. And I have a really hard time just staying focused. I love doing this. I love editing videos. I love being creative, but that was something that was really hard for me to get into. And it caused a couple of issues that eventually, maybe, hopefully, I might actually release it. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was just, it's just some mental stuff I have to work on myself. So.
Which means we will have the ranking for the Fast and Furious movies up when Fast and Furious 10 comes out.
No, at this point, we're going to have... we'll have it out with Fast and Furious 11, and our ranking is going to mysteriously miss Fast and Furious 10, and it's going to be referencing that Fast 9 just came out.
That was so confusing.
It's great. For our channel, that would be quite humorous.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what we're looking at, y'all. So it's gonna be a small break. I love doing this. We both love doing this. So we're not wanting to step away, but it's time for a mental health break.
We just want to make sure that we do keep loving doing this. So
yeah, exactly. That's the point.
I will say to this extent, you guys watched my second FCL match. You saw what happened there. A lot of that was because I was just not mentally in a good headspace going into that match. That's the excuse I use. I was
to say excuses.
I mean, it's a good one, but it is real. So, off the back of that, we're going to try to get some stuff worked out, shaped up, aligned, and then we'll be back in stronger than ever.
Yeah. Also, I would like to shout out our moderator, Vernon.
I hate everything.
This is what you get to look forward to.
I think my mustache is actually better.
I mean, here's the thing. So during the FCL today, they replayed the promo that we did last week. So the downside is that was the week-old mustache. Now we are seeing 2-week-old mustache.
It's a little bit darker. Just a little bit.
I mean, honestly, when I saw that promo played again this week, my first thought was we should have gotten ahead of this and filmed a 2-week. Every week we film a new promo of your mustache slowly coming in.
No, it's way too much.
That would be so funny. Anyways, you've got probably another I don't know, I would say 2-3 months before you reach.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Follicle perfection.
I'll be honest with you guys. There's probably going to be one more cutscene with facial hair on it, and then I'm getting rid of it because I just don't care.
Hate it.
Meanwhile, I am adding a little bit of a some stubble down here just to kind of counterbalance it and make it not quite as gross. It's still gross, but I'm trying to make it not as gross. So,
anyways, let's talk about some movie stuff, huh? Those of y'all in the chat that are still watching this,
for some reason,
again, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics, super chat, all of which is acceptable. Those of y'all in the chat, let us know. Did y'all watch anything new over this past week? Anything you would recommend? Let us know.
It'll be gone before then.
You should actually let it go until Spectacular, just so everyone Spectacular could see and be like, "Oh,
nope."
Yeah.
Nope.
Again, did y'all see any new movies over this past week? Let's talk about those. Let's cover what movies we did watch. Chris, what did you and your mustache watch over this past week?
My mustache watched nothing because it's not personified. I did watch. So here's the thing. This is a movie that I'm pretty sure I've seen bits and pieces of, but I wasn't certain that I've ever actually watched beginning to end all the way through. I have now. And that movie is Air Force One. I have officially seen Air Force One all the way through. I wasn't certain. There's a lot of movies that actually fall under this category as to have I actually sat down and watched them beginning to end? I don't remember. I've seen so many movies in my life. This is one of those that I for sure now know I have seen beginning to end because I decided to watch it the other night. Really good. Really good. What I don't like about these 90s action movies, though, is that they kind of just end. There's no real wholesome resolution to these stories. It just kind of ends. Oh, bad guy's taken care of, and everyone's good. Everyone saved the day. Cool.
And you see the hero kissing the wife or girlfriend or fiance or whatever, the very end, and then the credits run as the camera pulls away from the wreckage
and fades.
It fades. It pulls away and fades from the wreckage of the final crash battle. I mean, I'm intentionally thinking Speed does this. Yep. Con Air does this. Yep. It's a very, very huge 90s trope of action movies like that. Yeah.
Pull back, big shot, wide shot, camera fades, credits. Yeah.
How do I
get
through my life
DMCA.
without you?
Copyright. So
trust me, they're not gonna recognize what song that was by me singing it.
yeah. Anyway, as far as
tone deaf.
Okay, exactly. As far as these 90s action movies go, fantastic. Air Force One, really good. Classic. Love Harrison Ford. Definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it, then you were dumb like me. Definitely see it, though. It's a really good movie. I'm pretty sure everyone in our chat has seen it, honestly. Here's the thing. Let me move on to this other movie, because this one's actually newer and makes sense that I hadn't seen it until just now. No Sudden Move. This is a movie on HBO Max that was directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring like half of Hollywood. Yeah, it's like Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, John Hamm, David Harbour. A lot of people in this movie. It was a Steven Soderbergh movie. If you know what that means, then you know what that means. Steven Soderbergh, for me, is more miss than hit typically. He's good with the Ocean's movies. I find them entertaining and engaging. Logan Lucky, I figured was about the same. It kind of floated on the same line as the Ocean's movies. Pretty much everything else that I've seen from him, though, I get lost within like the first 20 minutes. This movie didn't lose me as much, but it was definitely that Soderbergh style where there's a whole lot of like talking happening at slow pace, and you've just got to be like super in tune to know what's being talked about, what's being said, and what's happening.
So basically you're saying I'm probably not going to like this movie.
How many Soderbergh movies have you seen?
I've seen a lot. I love Ocean's 11. I hate Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13 was...
Ocean's 13 was good. 11 and 13 were good. 12 was all right. But yeah, as far as like Soderbergh's typical movies, this is more like The Informant for me, which was just a slog to get through. So it was fine.
The Informant was painful.
Yeah, it's closer to The Informant. Still not as bad, but I don't highly recommend it. If you like Soderbergh movies, you're able to follow along and you enjoy them, then definitely check out No Sudden Move. You'll like it. It'll be good. But outside of that, it was fine. It was fine. I went back and like reread the plot over what I just watched, which it's a good movie if you have to get on Wikipedia later and reread the entire plot of what you just watched.
Hell, I do that. Sure. I do that while watching the movie sometimes, just to make sure I'm like following along properly.
Yeah. I pretty much caught what was going on based on what I read. The movie's fine. It's fine. So take that for what you will. Not really giving it a rating. If you want to see my rating, go to Letterboxd. My Letterboxd, which is at Chris Adams MLP. I have a rating on there and not a real review. So go check that out on Letterboxd. Plug. That's all I got for movies I've caught up on, watched.
Yeah. Real quick, mine, because of like last week we talked about the passing of Richard Donner. I have gone back and I've watched the Lethal Weapon movies that I have missed. I saw one ahead of before. I've seen 4 for some weird reason. I've never seen 2 and 3. So over this past week, I've caught up on 2 and 3, and I actually like 2 and 3 more than 1. I did start off by rewatching 1 again. It's okay. It's enjoyable. I thought 2 and 3 were a lot more interesting, a lot more fun to watch. I do plan on rewatching 4 because it's been years since I've seen it. I had not seen 2 and 3 before it. And I apparently, according to my Letterboxd at Robert Adams MLP, apparently I rated it like a 1.5 stars. And for some reason, I remember enjoying Lethal Weapon 4 a little bit more, even though I didn't know anything about Lethal Weapon at the time. I don't think I had even seen Lethal Weapon 1 before I saw 4. So, I plan on rewatching 4 just to see if I feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, I enjoyed 2 and 3. They were fun movies. Not like hit them out of the park, fantastic blockbusters that I'm going to run up and down the street singing the praises of, but they were fun.
I find it weird to watch sequels out of order, except I definitely saw Rocky 4 before I saw Rocky 3 for sure. I definitely remember that being a thing in my life.
So we got a Streamlabs in from all of the chat, more so Malcolm. donated $5 saying more Robert singing, dance monkey for your 5 spots, sing.
Don't encourage him.
I mean, $5. I like singing anyways. And for $5, yeah, I'll sing some more.
Thank you for the 5 spot. Thank you for the 5 spot. Don't encourage him. So anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, anyone else watch? Malcolm said that he watched the first 2 installments of Fear Street. Chris probably won't watch. Chris is not going to watch them because they're called Fear Street. But also, I believe, if I remember correctly, didn't they say that those actually were rated R? So definitely rated R movies are, for the most part, not up his alley. But
rating have anything to do with that? I watch rated R movies all the time.
Well, so I bring it up because Fear Street. The other reason you're not gonna watch it,
I'm an adult. I can watch rated R movies.
Actually don't have an interest in Fear Street. You didn't grow up with like R.L. Stine stuff, so you're not a fan of Goosebumps or the Fear Street series. The reason I brought up that it was rated R is because these are movies based off of books, or the idea. I don't know if they're actually based off. I think they are actually based off of Fear Street books, come to think of it. But these are movies based off of books that were geared towards like teenagers. So for the most part, there's really nothing R-rated about the books. I remember I've read a couple of Fear Street books at some point when I was younger. I don't remember anything like too shocking or like really in your face of those books. They were just suspenseful, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movies, I believe they are rated R. So that's a little strange, but yeah, I'm interested in them. I did grow up enjoying R.L. Stine, Goosebumps, some Fear Street stuff, some of his stuff that wasn't Fear Street that may have been a little more adult oriented, maybe something a little more like descriptive of like the murders and whatever, because those books were all about the murders or whatever. Murder, or whatever it is. So, I mean, I'm interested in it. I just haven't been able to sit there and get some time to watch it. I have a feeling I'll be able to do that very soon, though. So,
yeah. Anyway.
Since we are bringing up Letterboxd real quick, I am down to 25 movies away from 2,000 movies watched and recorded on Letterboxd. So if y'all got any suggestions, I know a lot of people have suggestions of like these little like indie movies or something that a lot of people may not have heard of. I'm all in for those movies. I love those types of movies as well. But I want someone to really like go through, look at what big movies have I not seen that I should have seen by now, and like help me push those towards the full forefront of these last 25.
Gone with the Wind.
Okay, Gone with the Wind is going to be in the 25. I guarantee that within the next like couple of weeks or so, however long it's going to take me to crank out 25 movies, Gone with the Wind will be in there. Lawrence of Arabia should be in there as well. Yes, absolutely agree. What other movie? Chariots of Fire. Okay, maybe that movie needs. Yeah, maybe that movie needs to be in there. If y'all got suggestions, I mean, that I love y'all's own passion for like a small indie movie that no one's ever heard of. That's cool. But again, this is a channel about cinefanatics. The very first and foremost, anyone's gonna be like, hey, have you seen The Godfather? You can't call yourself a lover of movies if you haven't seen Gone with the Wind or Sound of Music. Like I've seen Godfather and Sound of Music, but just an example, these are the type of movies I want people to be pushing to like the forefront of my eyesight and be like, you need to have seen this already. Why? So
Jaws 19.
Look at Jake. Someone get these idiots some lozenges. Thanks for being here, Jake. Glad you have a wrench also.
Oh God.
Hey, look at your screen. Garth has a
you know what else I haven't watched
question.
yet? You know what else I haven't watched yet? Goodfellas. Suck it.
Fast and Furious 7?
No, I've definitely seen that.
Oh, okay. The one where Mr. Nobody first appears?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, Malcolm. Just sure. Brag about that one. Okay. Anyways, yeah, if y'all have any good movies, let me know here in the chat or shout out on Twitter. Yep.
Hit him up on the twits. All right, so here's the breakdown. Here's what we got to do now. Here's how this is going to happen tonight.
Movie news.
I'm going to hit some box office stuff real quick. Then we got a speed run through 4. We're doing like super speed run on 4 of these news stories, and then we're going to hit some of these other news stories. That's how it's going to happen.
Which will end with a discussion about Spider-Man and Venom, as the thumbnail has given away.
Now, you guys thought this show is usually an hour long, roughly about where we try to keep it. Give or take about 15 minutes. Not tonight. It's going to be a little bit longer tonight, guys. Got a long one. So anyway, let's hit some box office numbers and talk about some box office stuff, because there's a really interesting thing happening on the box office. Anyway, so by the way, if anyone wants to harass us, you can do so by streamlabs.com/sonoffanatics. Let me pull up. So this last weekend, we saw a new release in Black Widow, our first Marvel movie that we've gotten in theaters since Spider-Man Far From Home at the end of 2019. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I can't believe that we are finally here. Good. That $5 was earned. All right. I can't believe we finally got back here. It's been literally over a year and a half, but we got Black Widow in the theater, and boy, did it make some money. That's incorrect. I don't know where that link leads, but don't click on that link.
I bet Jake just set that up real quick, and it's like under his name.
Don't click that link. It could be dangerous. You can get some virus on your computer there. Anyway,
we are the Butabi brothers. We come and we make problems for you.
I'm doing a visual gag right now. This is a visual gag right now, guys. Anyway, so
kudos to our podcast listening community, which we haven't forgotten about you, even though our Anchor podcast setup says otherwise.
No, I haven't put anything on podcasts in quite some time. Again, stress. Anyway, so Black Widow came out, guys, and it hit about $80 million in the box office. That's not the end of that story, though, because while that is huge in a post-pandemic world, I say post because we're still navigating through the end of it. While that is huge,
real quick,
would you quit interrupting me? I'm on a flow.
It doesn't. We're not racist. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm glad you interrupted me for that. That was a really funny joke. So while that's awesome that Black Widow's doing so much in the box office in the actual theaters, the true story here is that Disney released the Disney Plus amount for Black Widow this last weekend. And it did about 60 million over on Disney Plus with the premiere access. That's huge, because that puts it at about, if I'm doing math correctly, about $140 million in an opening weekend. And here's the thing about that. It's hard for me to believe that 60 million on Disney Plus happened simultaneously with 80 million in the actual theatrical box office. What I believe happened is that people went to go see Black Widow, and what happened is they came home afterwards and decided to get the premiere access so that they could just go back and watch it anytime they want later. And I think that's exactly what happened, because that's a huge, huge number for Black Widow. And it shows the staying power of not only the MCU, but what Disney's able to accomplish. Disney looks at the pandemic and goes, nah, we got this. Don't worry about it. We'll save theaters. Chris Nolan, you thought you were going to save theaters? No, Disney's saving theaters. And I say that because we got to keep in mind, F9 came out the weekend before, right? It was the weekend before or the weekend. Either way, it came out and it did huge numbers also, but it has hit a huge drop from last weekend to this weekend. So that is actually what I'm expecting to happen to Black Widow. I believe Black Widow will hit a huge drop going into next weekend also.
Like Malcolm asking here, I believe it actually is. I think this is the first movie that's been released like on a streaming platform.
Hard numbers.
That they've released to the public. Like we haven't gotten anything from like HBO Max as to like how many people have watched or how many subscriptions they believe based on their numbers have come from being able to watch the day and date on HBO Max. But
they this is I think the first movie they've released hard numbers for. They've talked about the success of prior movies like Mulan was Mulan a success? I believe Raya was a success. So that's what I'm thinking is for some reason Black Widow was the one where they decided to go ahead and release the hard numbers for us to show that there is staying power to the MCU here.
Well, I mean, if your movie theater numbers are showing again like pretty close to how like the numbers should have been had there not been a pandemic, 80 million is not bad at all. Now, for the MCU where it's at, I probably would have believed it more if it was closer to that 100 million mark, but 80 million, not bad at all. Beating F9 that did not have a simultaneous digital streaming release. Yeah. That's the key importance there is there's that, what did you say, 40 million? Or no, 60 million in the streaming. That's a huge chunk that was just on streaming alone. We're not including how much money it made in the theaters in comparison. Like F9 did 70, this did 80 and another 60 at home.
It's huge. That is a huge number. I'm impressed. Much to the dismay of a lot of people on Twitter who for some reason tell you to stop watching Marvel and Star Wars. They can suck it. Black Widow shows us that that's never going to stop happening, and your opinion is trash.
Yeah, I saw that Jackass make that comment too. Speaking of Jackass,
nice. I approve.
We got the title and the date for the first trailer for the 4th Jackass movie, if you want to call that a movie. Jackass Forever. The trailer will be on July 20th. We will not be doing a reaction to it. We need to do a reaction to that one. Here's the thing, like in all honesty, this is a part of something we're speed running here, so I just want to hit some quick points. You actually liked the Jackass movies way more than I did. Like you've been a fan, like when you were younger, you were a fan of like that group of people because they were like a split off of like say skating, Tony Hawk. Some of them were a part of like the Tony Hawk video game or whatever. It was it was slightly connected, much like the Schmodown and Screen Junkies are slightly connected.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's actually a really good comparison, come to think of it. So you were more of a fan of Jackass. Me, not so much, because I'm just not a fan of like these dudes like beating each other up. And typically, if any of their gags or jokes involve body fluids at some point, I don't really want to see that. That's just gross. It's not funny. It's just.
Whenever I watch Jackass, I always enjoyed the funny, hilarious stunts that they did. Those were always the best part. Anything involving bodily functions, nah, I'm good. So here's the thing: Jackass Forever trailer coming out July 20th. Probably will not be seeing this in the theater. I don't qualify this as cinema. You can argue with me on it. I don't care. This will probably be watched whenever it hits a streaming service that I'm already paying monthly for later on. So I don't even know why we were mentioning it. Jackass is happening. They're doing a 4th one. Johnny Knoxville's got gray hair. These guys are going to literally kill themselves on screen, and they're going to make millions of dollars doing it.
Since they've already filmed this, for the most part, I'm almost certain that if any of them actually died while filming this, we probably would have heard of it already. But
no, that's a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to keep that quiet.
By the way, Bam Margera he gets bammed at the end. Just saying.
Bam Margera's not going to be in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Moving on. Other quick thing we want to talk about, which this is great timing on. Yeah. It's not cinema. Yeah. So going from Jackass to let's talk about some Disney. We got the first image of
Polar opposites.
Yeah, I know. Well, although at this point I wouldn't be surprised if Disney actually did buy them. So, we got the first image of Halle Bailey as Errolowl, which I tried to do the whole like zoom in and enhance to get the color crazy. Because the original picture that we got is really dark. She is more of silhouetted. So what I was able to do to this photo, you can at least see her face and stuff.
Wait,
this is a photo of Halle Bailey. This is not a photo of Errolowl. This is just her.
I'm going to have to watch the replay. I just want to make sure you said Halle Bailey earlier and not Halle Berry.
I did say Halle Bailey.
It's so confusing.
Anyways, so we got that image. I mean, jokes aside, the image looks good. It is a nice teaser of Little Mermaid, but
it's an image, guys. There's not a whole lot going on there. You don't even really see the fin. She's just sitting in the water.
I want to see the fin. Just give me the fin, y'all.
I want to see the fin. Wake me up when we get. That was
kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was weird. Wake me up. Yeah, see. You heard Halle Berry. That's what I thought. I heard it too. I thought I heard it too.
Okay, so here's the thing. That is the Mandela effect. When someone says Halle Bailey, your brain is just, when you hear Halle you're just used to your brain automatically hearing the rest of Barry and not Bailey.
Yeah.
So that's y'all's fault. I said it correctly because I made it a point to make sure I was going to say it correctly before we started the stream tonight.
I'm going to go back and check the VOD afterwards, and if he said it incorrectly, there will be crap given on Twitter. You can bet. Here's the thing. Wake me up when we get Sebastian and Flounder. Until then,
that's the thing. Like, this is all well and good and nice. It shows us the seriousness that Disney has with this, that it's moving away from that cartoony look. But then, like kind of like what you said, I want to know what the other characters look like.
Not either one of them.
Yeah, it's actually Melissa McCarthy is playing Ursula, which that's the one. The second I heard that, I was like, yes, Melissa McCarthy is Ursula. That's fantastic casting.
Which Vernon, best of both worlds? I don't know. It's probably more Rebel Wilson, if anything. But
yeah, but she's like I like Rebel Wilson or Queen Latifah also for that role. But Melissa McCarthy is going to milk the hell out of every scene she is in.
Yeah,
like that would be great.
Yeah, I am awaiting a trailer before I give any of my opinion on whether or not Melissa McCarthy is correct for Ursula or not. So we'll see a trailer. Well, I want to see a trailer for this. Then we'll. Anyway, let's roll on.
Let's go on and while we're waiting to explore new trailers, let's explore new worlds. WandaVision director Matt Shakman. Is it Shakman?
Shakman.
I'm going to put an N in there. See, I can say Halle Bailey. I can't say Max Shakman. Mac Shakman. Yeah. Matt Shakman. Yeah, that's the one I should have been practicing before we went live. He's going to direct a 4th Star Trek movie with Chris Pine and crew in tow.
Yeah, it's the 4th in the JJ Treks.
I approve.
I do too. I really enjoyed the JJ Treks. So, except for Beyond, I didn't enjoy Beyond as much. But
that wasn't JJ.
That wasn't JJ. But this one isn't either. But I will say, I am thoroughly enticed by the idea of Matt Shakman coming off of WandaVision and doing literally anything, because I enjoyed WandaVision thoroughly. So. That excites me. That's what excites me about this project. Not only that, they are actually getting the crew back. They're getting Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and the whole crew back together again. And so I enjoy that. What I would love to see from this is connect it to the larger Star Trek universe. Are there other characters who were in Star Trek who can show up in this movie in some capacity at this point?
Like you want to see the recasted Next Generation?
I do. I want to see the JJ version of the Next Generation, essentially. A younger crew for them. Maybe we get a young Picard here. That would be kind of cool. So
who should play that Picard? Never mind. I feel like that's a sore bad topic. Anyways, I love what he did with WandaVision, and I'm eager to see what he could do with a more known property that's going to have a more rooted. Like I feel like WandaVision was more all over the place, but it's what we needed for Wanda. So
exactly. Vernon, no Chekhov in the movie. I don't think we don't recast him. There's just no Chekhov at this point, which is fine. It is what it is.
I don't think Chekhov is a major key to that, even though he's like one of the major crew members of the original show. I don't think we need to he doesn't have to be there.
We didn't have him in Beyond, right?
Yeah, we did. That was like one of his last movies.
Was he in Beyond?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, I thought he wasn't in that one for some reason. Okay, well, there you go.
All right, let me double check.
Or maybe
I could have sworn he was. Yeah, he was in it. Okay.
Okay, so I think what happened then was probably Anton Yelchin passed during that while they were filming.
Yes.
In one of those situations. Yeah, it sucks. I hate that. He's one of those that I really wish didn't. I know we're speedrunning here, but he's one of those that I believe really would have had a stellar career still ahead of him. And that situation sucks.
Yeah, both him and Leonard Nimoy passed away before it was released. So I believe there is like a in loving memory of both of them in that movie.
Okay. Yep. It's been a while since I've seen Beyond, and I wasn't as big a fan of it as I was the first two, so I blocked out a lot from that movie, I guess.
The other one that I want to bring up real quick is today we got this like funny little like trailer reaction from Deadpool and Korg watching a Free Guy trailer and reacting to it. I'll be honest, watching these two do a trailer reaction makes me not want to do a trailer reaction anymore. I don't feel like I can do that. I can't live to the level of hype, the bar that has been set by Mr. Poole and Mr. whatever Korg's last name is. I can't do that. I can't achieve and match that. So
Korg Rockman. Okay.
Yeah. That was weird.
Guys, please let me know in the chat how clever I am. Validation is key.
That little video is fantastic though. That was a great video. I love to see it because this really is our first interaction with seeing Deadpool interacting with the MCU. In Deadpool 2, he makes jokes about how Cable is played by Josh Brolin, who also is playing Thanos. So at one point he calls Cable Thanos.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we actually get like him interacting with an MCU character. Which I feel like this is like, in all honesty, this is probably like the most simplistic thing they came up with, because after both Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi were in Green Lantern together, they both were like, hey, we're both playing Marvel characters. Let's just be in a video together since we're both in Free Guy.
So real quick, there you go. Garth is asking, what is Korg's race?
Yeah. It's like Cronin.
This joke really would have worked better if I hit the vocal thing on my phone at the right time and it actually picked up the word Korg and not Cork. Anyway, I was trying to do a thing where my voice could look it up real quick while I was sitting there. Just move on.
Yeah, he's Cronin.
He's Cronin.
Yeah. I did a movie trivia. It was a video chronic quiz over on Video Drew's channel over Thor Ragnarok, and that was one of the questions that popped up.
Guys, he's a cronut.
He is a Cronin.
He's a cronut. Those are delicious, by the way. Anyway.
They're delicious. It's a cronut.
It's like a croissant and a donut.
Yeah.
It's a cronut.
Anyways, if y'all haven't seen that video, go watch that when we're done here. Please don't watch it while we're still going. We need you here. Again, thank y'all for being in the chat. Again, any questions, comments, anything else y'all want to add for Funzy, Streamlabs, Super Chat? That would be great. The movie Super Chat?
Funsies?
Anything you just want to make sure we get eyes on. If you want to help support us in this channel, was it Christian Harloff over on the Movie Trivia Schmodown today announced that New York is absolutely happening. We would like to go to New York. We are planning on going to Los Angeles for the Schmodown Spectacular, but we would like to go to New York as well. I have never been to New York City. Please help get us to New York City. Y'all have any questions? What color underwear do you prefer wearing? I don't know. If you really need to know that, please. That's cool, I guess.
That answer is not spectacular, by the way.
No, but the Schmodown is. Anyways. While y'all do that, let's move on to some more movie news. James Gunn said that superhero films are mostly boring now. Well,
I'm going to be flat out honest with you guys. I still haven't read this article. I just heard about this like today.
Right as we were all really starting to get back on the side of James Gunn, he comes out and says this. Now, here's the thing. His actual comment, this is one of those where like you saw the headline and you're like, oh, James Gunn is a douche for saying that or whatever. Here's where if you read the article and especially his quote, he makes a little more sense. In his this was an interview with SFX magazine. He's saying that it's like his opinion of it is because they're not doing anything really like spectacular in your face. It says it's not a 100% rule that a movie needs to, but he's not calling out any films, any specific films. Yeah. He was saying they're mostly boring to me. I loved them at the beginning. There are still people trying to do different things with them, so it's not a 100% rule, but a lot of them are boring. He goes on to say, so I think it's about bringing in other elements from different genres.
The problem is, okay, so
I like that idea.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, I mean, he's right. You know, that's why Winter Soldier is one of the best MCU movies, is because they brought in the spy thriller aspect to it.
So, like political spy thriller, yeah.
Yeah. My question is what movies is he talking about right now? Because he's currently working for both DC and Marvel. He's got a DC movie that's coming out next month. He's got a Marvel movie coming out next year.
But so I would look at it like his take on like Guardians of the Galaxy, especially if you know anything about the comic book iteration, he completely changed like the comic book of that form of Guardians of the Galaxy, like the Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, that form of the Guardians has completely shifted from what it was before the movie came out. Before the movie came out, there was a little humor to it, but it was very straight and we are space superheroes type of thing. After the movie came out, you could see the comics were the art imitating the life in the movie type of thing. And he hit that. He hit that genre besides just a superhero movie. The one that I would actually point out that's probably a really good example of what he's saying, because he had a hand in creating the movie, was Brightburn. You have what's essentially the Superman origin story, and then you turn him into a villain, a murderer, a psychotic supervillain. Like that's what I feel like he's talking about. You take something that is known as comic book oriented and just push it into one certain genre. Go back and tell the origin of the original Ghost Rider, but make it a Western. And don't let anyone who was involved with the previous Ghost Rider movies direct it.
I guess, but so my question though is, again, fine, he did Brightburn. He was a part of Brightburn. There's that. That's a superhero movie that came out recently that he is speaking to, has done something different. Cool. MCU is doing enough different. I don't believe he's speaking on anything on the MCU because they're giving him money right now. That's part of it. I want is he maybe talking about some stuff in DC? Because what other superhero movies are happening right now other than Marvel and DC that happened recently that he could be speaking about? The Hellboy movie with David Harbour?
That's why he's saying it's not a 100% rule. I think he's looking at it like superhero movies on a whole, just a straight superhero movie, even probably like the ones that are the various stereotypical with your cliched like superhero origin. Yeah, those I would say those have the possibility of getting stale. We're gonna get another Batman movie where it's a young Batman learning how to be Batman. Like, cool. Like, I'm actually willing to bet that movie's going to be good. But I mean, how many more times do we need to revisit either the Batman origin or the Batman in his like year one, younger years? We've seen it in TV. We've seen it in movies. We don't need to keep milking this one particular story. Yeah. Give us Man of Steel 2 and let Zack Snyder direct it and anything else he wants to do for DC. But yeah, like the very stereotypical superhero movies, I think that's what he's talking about. It needs to push a limit, like New Mutants. New Mutants was originally released as a horror movie with the comic book elements.
So is he more so than probably speaking to, I'm going back and I'm looking at the movies that we have already gotten that have come before. I'm going back and looking at your, X-Men First Class sequels. I'm looking at your Amazing Spider-Mans. I'm looking at these movies that weren't as good, and I'm speaking about those movies. I'm not talking about necessarily the current MCU movies that are coming out or the current, DC EU movies that are coming out. So he could be talking about like Ghost Rider. He could be talking about, Blade Trinity, whatever. In that case, I understand that comment. But other than that, I'm like, if you're sitting here biting the hands that are feeding you right now, you can probably don't do that.
That's what I say. I don't feel like he is, just because he's done so much different with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's what I was pointing out earlier. He actually he made it logical for it to be the movie. He made it a comedy. They're not like that in the comics, or they weren't. They are now because the movie was successful. But Suicide Squad, hopefully, he's doing something along the lines of what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy with Suicide Squad. They've done a couple of Suicide Squad direct-to-DVD, Blu-ray animated movies, and like some of those have been fantastic. There's one in particular, Assault on Arkham. That should have been what the first Suicide Squad movie was. That was a fantastic movie. But do that. Doing something where adding the comedic elements of like Guardians of the Galaxy to Suicide Squad, I think that's what he's talking about. Just add something more than just your stereotypical boring, I'm a superhero.
Okay. So I'm kind of with that. It's really funny the way like news articles and stuff happen where they take like the headline and they go, "Hey, aren't you enticed to click on this news story now? Ooh, let's all jump on James Gunn. He's doing a bad thing." Okay, come on. But anyway, that's interesting. Interesting comment. Interesting viewpoints here.
Still better than Scorsese saying superhero movies are not cinema. So,
Jackass isn't cinema though.
No. We got Streamlabs from Errolowl telling us, "Here's to a restful hiatus. Thank you, Rachel. Enjoy your mod status for when we come back as well." Yeah. And a happy birthday again. This other one, I kind of want to breeze through this one just because I don't have too much, I feel like, really to add to it. But it was announced that Greta Gerwig is directing the Barbie movie. This is going to be the Barbie movie that's being starring and produced by Margot Robbie, who is a fantastic choice for Barbie, just saying. But Greta Gerwig has done very well in like the realm of like your your female coming of age movie. She did Lady Bird. She did a remake of Little Women. Both of them were highly successful. Both of them get great praise, even if the Oscars and the Academy doesn't want to give it. Beside the point, she's doing very well in this particular genre. And originally I thought like a Barbie movie doesn't sound like something that's like the artistic type of grab that Greta Gerwig has seemingly been known for so far. But is she going to add that to Barbie? Is this going to legitimize and we're not going to see like a live action animated Barbie?
So there's different ways that you can take this, because we know that Barbie has made an appearance in the Toy Story movies, in which she was a little what's the term, ditzy. That's how they decided to portray her character in those. It's still capable, but also kind of. I think that first of all, you have to look at what have they done with the toy of Barbie since. And one of the big things is that Barbie is an accomplished, very capable woman now. She has been a president, a doctor, a lawyer, and literally every job ever Barbie has been. So I'm wondering if they are actually taking the Barbie franchise, the Barbie toy, and kind of turning it into a movie that's actually got some serious tones to it. And I question this because initially, when they were first introducing the idea that they were going to do a Barbie movie, I believe they had Amy Schumer attached to star in it.
Oh, that's right. And we're like,
yeah.
No.
And I was like, that's strange. She's a strange choice what direction are they taking this movie? This doesn't feel normal.
No.
So it is interesting to me that we are going to have a Barbie movie. Oh God, no.
Mannequin and Mannequin too, with the great Andrew Lowry. Yeah, okay. It was like Kim Cattrall, I believe.
Anyway, this interests me because one, Margot Robbie is an actress that we take seriously. She is somebody who has done a lot of really great work, is going to continue doing a lot of great work. She's going to have a huge career still, and she has had a huge career so far. She's an actress that I'm very much interested in any project she does because she's really good. Greta Gerwig is a director who's on the rise, someone who we should all be keeping our eyes on because Greta Gerwig is a fantastic director, not just a female director, but a fantastic director. She is definitely like top tier when we're talking about like female directors for sure. It's like her, Catherine Bigelow. Now I'd even put in like Chloe Zhao in there. But as far as like just directors go, Greta Gerwig's on the rise. She is definitely one to watch for certain. So the fact that you're combining Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, and there's a potential that exactly. That's what I was going to say. This movie could go anywhere. If they make Barbie like, I honestly don't think they're going to. I don't think Barbie's going to be like your stereotypical ditzy blonde. I don't think you're going to get that here.
I don't think it's going to do that just because society will tear it apart. Yeah. Nowadays, you can't do that. I know that's like way back when Barbie was first created, they kind of did that. Like she came with like all the kitchen stuff because she's supposed to work in the kitchen. Like that was when Barbie was originally introduced. We have grown. Yeah, we have grown as a society since then. And like you were saying earlier, she could be a president. She could do this, that. She could do everything. Like Barbie does not come with the glass ceiling anymore. Like that is gone.
Keep in mind, this is a movie that is now happening in a United States, in a world where we do have a female vice president. So, this is we are looking at like, does this movie reflect the actual progress we're making on society? Does it go beyond that? I think it's definitely going to go beyond that for sure, because Barbie's always gone beyond that. But to another point that Rachel made, I don't think we even get Legally Blonde. I think that I honestly do believe that it's going to have comedic elements in it for sure, because it's Barbie. It's based off of a toy, essentially. You have to have comedic elements when it's based off of a toy. But I do think that we get a serious movie here, in which case I'm all on board.
Yeah, I'm interested in it just because like Margot Robbie does like I can imagine Margot Robbie same kind of like facial features as like your traditional looking Barbie doll. So
Yeah.
I feel like they've nailed the casting perfectly for this.
Yeah.
But kind of like we were saying earlier is if they went that traditional route, which I'm guessing what Rachel means is that ditzy, the original playful animated Barbie. Why are two dudes talking about Barbie? Like,
right?
We should be talking about Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe. Yeah. But I mean,
oh, yeah, that's coming out too.
Yeah, the traditional thought of like animated ditzy Barbie, that's I could see Margot Robbie doing that, but I can't see Greta Gerwig directing that.
No.
And that I feel like we're gonna get something really good out of this. Like this will be a movie just based off of the star and the director. That yeah, even dudes who are in the G.I. Joe are gonna be like, I want to go see that Barbie flick. And because they respect what the movie's gonna be about, not like, hey, it's Margot Robbie's Barbie. Let's go check that out.
If they make it comedy, I think you'll see a movie more along the lines of like a Pitch Perfect. In which case it's going to be absolutely hilarious. But I just have a feeling it's going to be a best of both worlds situation. Not Hannah Montana. I'm talking about it's going to be a movie where, you got to drop that in there. It's going to be a movie where you get a lot of like actual like serious. It's going to be like a dramedy. This is the tone I think they're going to end up going for. Like a Scrubs type where it's funny moments, but it's also got some really serious like moving moments to it too. So
Scrubs with Elliot, who was nicknamed Barbie in
Barbie.
it.
Yeah, there you go. There's a connection.
Good job.
We did it, guys. We made the connection.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I'm into this. I think it's going to be good. I can't wait to see who plays Ken because I want to make sure that I see myself represented on screen, guys. I gotta be represented in this Barbie movie, guys.
I know who I would have thought who could have played like a good Ken if we're trying to make the actor look like the doll. I actually know exactly who would have played a good Ken. Problem is, no one's going to put him in a movie now.
There's about 1 million people you could be talking about.
Oh, okay. I was originally thinking Armie Hammer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's got that look, but no. Let's not put him in.
No.
Anyways, let's talk about things that could be in movies.
Incorrect, Malcolm. JD was nicknamed Random Girl's name. Elliot was Barbie.
Yeah.
Do not question the Scrubs.
Let's take this over to a video chronic quiz. They did Office last. They did the Office last night. Let's do a Scrubs. I know Ben Goddard wants in on that action too. So speaking of things that we haven't seen in movies that we'd like to see in movies, that we could see in movies, Kevin Feige this week was talking about the fact that you have both Spider-Man No Way Home and Venom. Let's call it Maximum Carnage because that's a better title. Let There Be Carnage. They're both coming out this year. And Kevin Feige was talking about the possibility of still having Spider-Man and Venom meet up. So, they didn't, for Venom, they didn't do the comic book accurate origin story, which I can kind of understand why, but that's one of those origins I feel like you really need to like hit that for the emotional support of the origin.
Yeah.
Real quick, Spider-Man was put on an alien planet. He ripped his costume. He made a new costume out of a black suit. Turned out when he came back to Earth that the black suit was actually a living alien that was slowly like eating him is the quick way to say it. It was a symbiote. He got rid of it. It was making him all mad and whatever. He got rid of this black suit. It fell onto Eddie Brock, who hated Peter Parker because let me think. Yeah, he hated Spider-Man because Spider-Man made him look like a fool when Spider-Man captured the real Sin Eater after Eddie Brock, a reporter, said the Sin Eater was some other person. So yada yada yada. Eddie Brock and the symbiote form Venom, and they hate Spider-Man, and that's why. Anyways, the Venom movie completely like did around that. It's just Eddie Brock came across the symbiote who was shunned by his symbiote society. So there was no connection to Spider-Man. There's no mention at all of Spider-Man in Venom.
I wonder if they retroactively, because there's going to be multiverse stuff happening here, if there's a world where that Venom actually was attached to a multiverse Spider-Man and then came into this universe and therefore has already had that Spider-Man experience in another world.
Talking about the symbiote, like the symbiote may have been attached to Spider-Man before. Possibly.
Which would be really interesting, because that's the movie I want to see that you didn't do properly with Spider-Man 3 that I really wanted to actually see happen. But apparently we're never going to get that movie. So whatever.
I do enjoy the idea of Spider-Man and Venom crossing over. Now, my opinion, being the comic book lover, especially of Venom and Carnage, I kind of expect, and I would not be surprised if Spider-Man actually does pop up in this next Venom movie. Just because in the comics, especially when Carnage first appeared, neither Spider-Man by himself or Venom by himself were ever able to take down Carnage. It always had to be a combination, at the very least, a combination of the two of them to take down Carnage. So I would kind of expect to see that in this movie. If it doesn't take the two of them or someone other than Venom to kind of help take down Carnage, I feel like that this Venom movie is going to suck.
Here's why I do think Spider-Man will show up. Because in the trailer, Cletus Cassidy said the Savior will never come, right as they're showing him squashing a spider. Or someone squashing a spider. That's the kind of thing that you throw in the trailer to divert or take people off the train of thought that Spider-Man will show up here. And then at the last second, you're going to go, haha, Spider-Man. And everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see Spider-Man coming at all. And we're going to be sitting here going, they pretty much alluded to it in the trailer. Spider-Man's going to show up.
We also know at this point, we've gotten a trailer for Morbius. And there's Spider-Man elements in that trailer, even including Michael Keaton showing up at the end as his Vulture character. So Sony has said that these movies all do exist within like the Sony Marvel universe. So we do know from at least Sony's side that Venom is a part of the universe that has Morbius and Spider-Man in it. If it has Spider-Man, it has to include the rest of the MCU, unless this next Spider-Man movie says, whatever, we'll do what we want, and just creates that whole stupid multiverse that's going to confuse everyone.
It's just going to confuse you. I'm going to be into it. Here's the thing. I love how we wrote in our show notes that this is a Spider-Man Venom crossover. It never imagined to me in any world that we would ever have to put crossover as a term after Spider-Man and Venom, but apparently that's the status of movie studios nowadays. These characters have to cross over even though they're part of the same comics. I do think that we are looking at a multiverse situation here, though, where
it's like that Professor X and Magneto crossover.
Exactly.
The Superman and Lex Luthor crossover, Batman and Joker crossover. That one actually probably could happen at this point.
The Professor X and Magneto one, we finally get Onslaught in a movie. Cool. We were waiting for that. Anyway, honestly, it could happen. And
that would be cool.
MCU. But what I think is interesting here is that we actually, what I said earlier about like maybe Venom already experienced that storyline off camera. We actually still could get that storyline. It's not going to be like from the comics, like Garth brought up in the chat there, that Peter's going to get it from like the Secret Wars storyline. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think there is a world where maybe through whatever multiverse stuff, let's say that the Eddie Brock that we have in Venom, the Venom movies that we've gotten, don't actually exist within the main MCU timeline. Well, there's going to be some multiverse stuff, and they're going to end up happening, and people are going to, cross over and all that. There's a world where we still get we get Venom like landing on Tom Holland, Peter Parker, and at some point maybe he gets separated from Eddie Brock, lands on Tom Holland, Peter Parker, says, okay, you're my new host now. I don't know what happened to Eddie. And Peter's like, no, I don't want this. And whatever happens. And then bada bing, bada boom, Eddie comes back in. We do the whole storyline, just slightly different. They fight it out for a little bit. And then like, oh no, we need to team up against random bad guy. I think we could still see that happen, which is not as great, Not as great as maybe doing the straight from comics storyline, but I still think you get the let's hint at it, allude to it kind of storyline with it. That could happen.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I like the connections. Any possibility of them having that backstory to kind of really help, especially if they could make Venom back over into like the MCU. I would like to see Tom Hardy and Venom play around in the MCU as well. So
yeah,
any way they could potentially do that, that would be great. So yeah, I would actually like to see if they could do it in the MCU though. I do want to see a proper Maximum Carnage adaptation. I mean, the problem is you're minus Captain America now, so you'd have to use Sam Wilson Captain America. But you got like Doctor Strange. There's Deathlock. Pulled Deathlock from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You got Firestar. You can still get Cloak and Dagger from the TV show.
I think all these shows are pretty much donezo, so I don't know if we're going to pull. You
got Morbius. Yeah, I mean, there's a very strong possibility you could put this together. I can't remember if Iron Man was a part of the superheroes as well.
Not in the MCU, it's not.
Yeah, I know. I think Ghost Rider might have been also maybe at one point. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, there's a whole cast there. Mainly, I just want to see a Demogoblin and Doppelganger Spider-Man on the big screen. That's what I want. Like the comic book accurate. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I want. I think that does it for movie news. That does it for the episode tonight. I know. I mean, we made it. Technically, Vernon, we could keep going, but I mean, we got to stop to do your show at some point. So,
hey, look who's here. Hey, Brandon Hanna. The shows, the titles, the tagline. You know, that's close enough.
The tagline, the show where the tagline is the title. Yeah. Malcolm says he wants to see a Morbius and Mobius crossover. Yeah, no, that's confusing. If y'all have any other questions, comments, anything else you want to send through streamlabs.com/fanatics, it's still open. It hasn't closed. It's still available for anything like that. So are the super chats. So feel free to send those in as we wind down this show. Guys, it's a lot of info tonight. I think we spent more than half of the show just talking about us, which is a little bit different, but still, it's a lot of fun to be able to sit down here Tuesday nights, like wind down in the middle of the week, talk to our friends, talk about some movie news. I enjoy it. It's a blast to do this. I am going to miss this while we do a hiatus for a little bit. Those of y'all that weren't here earlier, we are going to be taking at least a good couple of week hiatus. Might pop up here and there for a random thing, but yeah, we're going to be taking a hiatus for after this week. So, I guess we can go ahead and replug what we've got going on for the rest of this week. Yep. So tomorrow night we are doing the breakdown of the finale of Loki with Miss Kelsey Kirkland. Join us back here again tomorrow night. That's going to be at 9 Central, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. I have a feeling this episode's going to be epic. There's going to be a lot to talk about. You want to be here for that. If you haven't been caught up with Loki, catch up. And join us tomorrow night. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thursday night, we will be doing over on Patreon at the $5 due tier. We are doing a watch along of Space Jam. So come on over, join us, and welcome to the watch along. That's cheesy as hell. But despite that joke, please sign up for the Patreon. If you're not already, join us at the $5 tier for that watch along. That will also be Thursday night, 9 Central, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And then I believe we will be doing a review of Space Jam: A New Legacy. And I think that's roughly about it. You're going to continue doing Bad Batch. Otherwise, nice little hiatus there.
Yep. He's going to be deleted at the end of the stream, but I'm bringing it up anyway. Guys, message Vernon. He's putting out a great offer. If you don't get that, if he doesn't get that, I guess, by sometime, then he's not going to count it. But otherwise, he's doing a great offer, guys. You get upgraded for the watch along. It's going to be fun. So definitely take advantage of that for this month only. There you go. Take advantage of that for this month only, guys. Come hang out with us during the Space Jam watch along. If you can't afford the $5 for this month, then definitely hit up Vernon and he'll help you out this month. That'll be great. Thank you for doing that, Vernon, by the way. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, make sure you follow us on Twitter at CineFanaticsMLP. While we are on this hiatus, you won't get this once a week episode where we can like reach out and tell y'all what's going on. So make sure you follow us on social media. That's where you'll be caught up on what we're looking at, what we're talking about, any other spontaneous news announcements that we need to make without having a video. That's where it's going to be at Cinefanatics MLP on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow both of us. I'm at Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. He is at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Instagram. I said those out of order to throw y'all off and to mess me up, but still did good with it. Do we have anything else we want to cover before we actually wrap this up?
Malcolm sent in a question. He said, what is your favorite Netflix TV series? I'm going to stick by Stranger Things because nothing else is still going on, and it's a really good show.
I think I would probably still have to say my favorite were probably like the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. I was also enjoying I guess the first 3 or 4. I forgot where I fell off, but the first 3 or 4 seasons of Orange Is the New Black were actually kind of interesting. I need to go check out Cobra Kai. For that one though, I need to catch up on the rest of the Karate Kid movies because I think I know I've seen the second one. I'm not sure if I've seen the third. I'm pretty certain I've seen the fourth with what's her face?
Mm-hmm.
The next Karate Kid movie that had what's her face? Hilary Swank as the new Karate Kid. I feel like I've seen that before, but yeah, thank you. As you shouldn't. You and I will fight. I guarantee it. Yeah, I need to go back and probably watch those movies before I tackle Cobra Kai. I don't know if it's actually needed, but I know this next season of Cobra Kai, they're bringing in someone who didn't show up till Karate Kid 3. And if I haven't seen Karate Kid 3, I'm going to have no idea who the heck this guy is. So I'm not going to care. So I want to rewatch the movies first. That might be a part of this last 25 that I have to do. Again, guys, I'm 25 movies away from hitting 2,000 on Letterboxd. Y'all have any suggestions? And not necessarily movies that are small, little indie that you personally like. I'm talking about what movies are movies I should have seen by now as a person who runs a movie YouTube channel responsibly. What movies should have I seen already? Let me know. Hit up Twitter, follow me on Letterboxd. Let's crank these out. Let's get through this last 25 movies.
And then he's never watching a movie ever again.
And then
last 25 movies of his life ever.
Yeah, that's it, y'all. No more movie watching. I'm going to do this entire YouTube channel based off of what I've already seen.
Yeah. Brandon says he doesn't have time for TV. Not even time for movies. Don't tell his manager.
I would say we completely understand that.
I'm messaging Roxy right now. I'm not. She's too busy with her birthday. So
I mean, this is a good suggestion here. I like that as well. You go through this list and you find the movies that you haven't watched that are on this list and you watch it. I definitely like that idea. That's definitely a solid list that I've been wanting to find. Just what's the list of the 1,000 movies you must see before you die and just crank through those. So it's her birthday. Spare her the disappointment. Haha. Happy birthday, Roxy Stryer, if you happen to see this, but
she won't, but okay.
Anyways,
she won't, but go off, King.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight, y'all. It's time to wrap this episode out. Thank y'all for watching. If you're here live, thank you for being here in the chat. We definitely appreciate having you here while we are live. If you are watching this on a replay later, comment down below. Let us know you were here. Let us know your thoughts. I know this was a lot longer episode than we've had lately. We are still focused on trying to keep it under an hour or so, but we had a lot to talk about, a lot of personal things to talk about. So thank y'all for being here with that. Make sure you drop us a like because that's what both us and YouTube appreciate. So hit that like button.
Also, it was longer because we're not doing a tagline for at least the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, there's that too. So we will miss all of y'all while we're not here, but we're gonna come back very hard, fast and furious. Maybe I'll do that ranking for funsies during the hiatus. I don't know.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I'm not gonna set a time. That's the key focus with that. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching this live. Come back when we have shows again. Make sure you share this with friends, family. Let them know this is something that you watched that you're interested in. And then subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. It'll let you know when we go live. So you're here at the top of the show when we first go live. And that does it. Anything else we need to cover?
I think we got it. We'll see you guys on the tagline in at least 2 weeks. Hopefully we're in a solid place in 2 weeks and we can come back and be stronger than ever.
Otherwise, go watch all the Loki episodes. We will see you tomorrow night for the Loki finale breakdown. 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. As for tonight, as for myself, as for my brother, thank y'all in the chat for being here. We will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.
See ya.